Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. Happy Valentine's Day weekend. I hope you're having a great day. Today, we are going to make some rustic carrots with our new rustic carrot bundle. And this is just an idea of what they could look like. These are some that I've already done. We are going to do something a little bit different than this, but I will explain how I did these. And these are just super cute. They would be adorable sitting in some kind of like pitcher or crock or something like that. They're also really cute to just sit on like a stack of books or in like hutch, something like that. Like you could just do so many different things. Put them in a bowl, all kinds of different ways that you can use these. They're adorable, and I think y'all are going to love them. This is a really easy project. It's a great DIY. This would be fun to do as a group as well. And it's very inexpensive. It's $15 for the bundle. It comes with everything you need except for your paint. And there are so many different things you could do with this. Today, we're going to try some crackle and see how that goes, all right? So when you hop on, say hello, let me know you're watching. I hope y'all have some fun things planned for the weekend. It is Valentine's weekend, and I'm excited. We're taking Griffin out tonight to celebrate Valentine's Day with him. And then Andrew and I are going to celebrate tomorrow. But looking forward to the weekend. I love celebrating. I love going out to dinner. And so that's what this weekend is about, and I'm excited about it. So when you hop on, say hello. Let me know that you're watching. Let's see who we've got joining me today. Hi, Dorothy. Hey, Pam. Happy Friday. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Laura. Hello, Patty. Hey, Adriana. Hi, Jenny. Hey, Rosemarie. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. I'm so glad to have all of y'all on today. So this bundle is $15. It comes with your wood pieces. It comes with your Spanish moss, and then it also comes with your greenery as well, okay? So you got everything that you need. Hi, Doreen. Aside from your glue and your paint brushes and your paint, everything else is here, and so you can then just get creative with this. You can do decoupaging on these, which would be really fun. I can just envision so many different things, so many ways that you could decorate these. So we're going to be using today our Tim Holtz Distress Crackle Paste. And I think these are going to be really pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing how they turn out. Hi, Rosemarie. Happy Friday. Hey, Ruby. Hello, Tina. Good to see y'all today. So this set here I did, and what I did with these is I just mixed up a light color of orange, and just painted them orange, and then I dry brushed over them with a darker orange while they were still kind of wet to just create a little bit of variation. And then I used some raw umber on a pouncer and just went over the edges and just added a little bit of that sort of distress on there. And that's all I did with these. Super simple. Then I just added my Spanish moss, added the greenery, and I've got my cute little carrots, okay? So we're going to take it a step above on this one right here, okay? So I'm going to pull this out and show you what all's in here. These are rustic, y'all, okay? They are rustic wood cuts, all right? So you've got your bundle of 3 different size carrots. And then you also have some Spanish moss and 3 stems of your florals for the tops of your carrots. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to mix up some crackle paste. And I have never done this with crackle paste before, but I have gotten asked many times if you can. So we're going to try it today. We're going to see what happens. We're going to use a paintbrush to apply our crackle paste today. So I'm going to scoop some out into a little cup here because we're going to mix this with some orange paint. Hi, Kim. This color here is called Orange Spice. Hey, Sandy. Hey, Carol. And I don't want this to be, I don't care if this is like super dark. I don't know that I necessarily want it to be super dark. I'm not sure. We're going to mix this up and see what we get. Yes, I honestly think I'm okay with this right here. So I'm just mixing that color into my crackle paste. Just like that. So we've got an orange, an orangey color. And I'm going to be using some raw umber later. So that's going to darken this a little bit, and it's going to make it look a little bit more, less bright. Okay, so we're going to take our little carrots here, and we're going to start applying our crackle paste. Now, I don't want this to be really smooth with the crackle paste. So I'm going to apply it fairly thick. Okay, and I am applying it in a way that's not neat. Okay. So I'm really just sort of smoothing it on. Okay. Can y'all see that? So it's not smooth. It's not neat. Applying crackle paste goes against, if you are OCD, it goes against all of those grains because it's not supposed to be nice and smooth. Hey, Pam. Hi, Chrissy. And I'm really, instead of like going like this, I'm really kind of laying my brush down and using the side of my brush to apply this. And you do, like I said, apply it quite thick. Okay. Just like that. Okay, I don't know if y'all can tell, but it's very thick. I'm going to turn my heater off so I can turn my heat tool on. And then I'm just going to dry it. And as it dries, it's going to crackle. This is one of those situations that it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, the less perfect it is, the better it's going to look. Yay, Carolyn. Thank you. You'll see it start to crackle as it dries. The thicker parts will have larger cracks, and the thinner parts will have small little teeny cracks. Kim, this is called the Tim Holtz Crackle Paste. It's available on our website. I'm trying to heat up here a little bit. Starting to dry. Drying on my fingers, I know that. Looking good. Hey, Carol. Okay, let me show you how this looks. It's gonna still continue to crack a little bit because it's still a little wet. But let me see if you can see that. And you'll be able to see it more when we add the raw umber. But I am going to set this aside and we're gonna do the other two. And we'll just let that kind of dry as we work on our others. You can also apply this with a popsicle stick, which is going to give you a thicker coverage. You want, when you're applying this, you want those strokes. You don't want this to be smooth. That's why I've always said not to use a paintbrush. So I'm trying to show you what it is like using a paintbrush. When you apply it, you definitely just want to make sure you're not smoothing it out perfectly. Otherwise, it kind of defeats the purpose. Thanks, Natalie. All right. Okay, let's get this dried. And then we'll move on to our last one. We are Tracy. We're using our crackle paste on these carrots. This bundle's available on celebrationcompany.com for just $15. It does not come with the crackle paste. This is just an option of a way that you could finish these. But it does come with your 3 pieces of wood, the raffia, and the florals that go on the top. Okay. I'm going to set this down and let this continue to dry a little bit. Can y'all see that? The crackle on that. Okay, we've got one more. This is giving me, I don't like the way this makes me feel. It makes my hands feel. I wish I had put gloves on. Feels like mud on my fingers, and I hate that feeling. If y'all ever watch Survivor, every time I watch Survivor and I see them playing, not playing, but you know what I mean, in the mud, and then when they're done, they're just like covered in mud, and it's just like crusted on them. Ugh. I always think, ain't no way I could do that. I just couldn't. All right, we want to see those brush strokes. Patty, it is Andrew's turn. He is planning this year. All right, that looks good. Let's dry it. Hey, Christy, good afternoon. And I chose not to paint underneath this because I want this rustic look. And any of those cracked areas, I want the raw umber to soak into. So we're going to be using some raw umber on these after they dry. I'm sure, Lynn. Have y'all seen there's a new Fear Factor out? Did y'all watch Fear Factor back in the day? I always liked watching it, but this new season looks pretty extreme, and the boys are wanting to watch it. We started to watch it the other day, and just by the previews, I said, I can't watch this. I can't do it. It's going to make me very uncomfortable. And so I'm like, no, I can't. Y'all are going to have to watch this on your own time. It looks very extreme, this new one. Okay. All right. So we got those coated. And you could always, if you wanted to, go back and add another layer. I gotta get this off of my fingers. You didn't, Kathy? It was good. I enjoyed it. There were a lot of things they did on Fear Factor that I would do easily. Not easily, but it wouldn't scare me too bad. But there were a lot of things that I would walk out. I'd be like, not a chance. Absolutely not a chance. It was disgusting, wasn't it? This one, the new one, is worse. It's going to be worse. Just by watching the previews, I'm like, we had just sat down to eat dinner. A delicious dinner, by the way. And Andrew and I were so looking forward to it. And we just sat down to eat it, and they turned this on in the previews. You know how it, like, the opening credits and stuff show you all kinds of clips and things like that. And I'm like, I can't. I just can't. I don't have any desire to sit and watch this, especially not while I'm trying to eat a delicious meal. Yeah, Kim says the new one does look worse. Bridget, I can't answer that question. But I have no idea, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Okay, so let me get this cleaned up real quick. This is bugging me. Out the paper towels. So you know what? I got this rag sitting right here. This will work. Yeah, me either, Rosemary. Me either. Okay, y'all. I need lotion. Just a second. Okay. Now I can concentrate. Now I can focus. All right. So let me grab some gloves. And I just want to make sure that these are good and dry. And we're going to distress them even further and just make them look so good. Okay, let's grab some gloves. Christy's like, absolutely not. The old ones don't bother me, but I knew the new ones. I wasn't about to do. Okay. This looks pretty dry. They look good and cracked. I'm just making sure that they're dry. Thank you, Irene. I hope you're having a great day too. Okay, that looks good. I'm gonna grab my sander, and I just want to give these a little bit of a sand because I want this to have that chippy look. So I do want to remove some of this paint that's cracked. We're gonna really give this a really aged, distressed look. And if some of it chips off, that's even better. Hi. Okay. Let's apply some raw umber. Let me grab a wet wipe. All right, so raw umber. So you can see how I've just kind of distressed that. Take my raw umber and rub this all over and let it just get into all of those little cracks and accentuate them. Just like that. At the top here too. Okay. And we end up with this. Look how fun that is. It just has a very rustic look to it. So we're going to do the same thing on the others. Fun, Irene. I want to make sure this is dry. Okay. We're going to sand. Anywhere where you expose that raw wood, this raw umber is going to stick to that a little bit better. So that's going to really give you some of those darker spots. Okay. And here we go with more raw umber. They do, Irene. Both sets usually get something for him. Of something. Some kind of something, usually. Or they do something with him. I'm just taking this rag and just kind of wiping to reveal a little bit of that brighter orange underneath. But this is looking so good. I'm loving this. These just look like they have been pieces of wood that have been sitting outside. I don't think this one's completely dry. Kim, the sanders we are behind on sanders. We've been printing sanders 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. and we're behind. So it could be that we haven't gotten caught up. So typically it does not take that long, but with any of the pieces that we manufacture here in the studio, sometimes it does take just a little bit longer. But you might reach out and just make sure that we didn't miss it somehow, because I definitely don't want that to happen. But I do know that we do have outstanding sander orders that we haven't been able to get to. But we typically fill, you know, oldest first. So we'll be getting more sanders out and we'll hopefully be caught up next week. You're welcome, Kim. Happy Friday, Lisa. All right. Let's get in there. Last one. Smallest one. Can you put the crackle and sander together? Kim, meaning did you place separate orders? If you send us a message, we might be able to do that, but we don't usually guarantee that because it sometimes causes for mistakes. And we don't want anyone to not get an order. But if you do send us a message, we can try. Okay, there you go. Answer given. Your order's already shipped. Okay. So now we've got our carrots. Now we're just going to finish them, which is going to be pretty easy, okay? Okay, so let's grab our Spanish moss. You don't need a lot of Spanish moss, okay? It's just a tiny little bit for each carrot, okay? You're just going to put a little bit up here at the top. So I'm going to take my hot glue gun. By the way, our glue guns are currently on sale. They are 20% off. So make sure you take advantage. If you don't have a glue gun yet, make sure you grab one. There is also a hole in the top of your carrots for your floral. So you can just literally put some hot glue and then just stick your floral right in your hole like that. And look at that, an adorable little carrot. And so then just do the same thing for the other two. So I just take a little bit of hot glue, put it around the hole, not over the hole. Thank you, Michelle. And you might test before you glue it in to see if you want to remove some of this base. And I do, in this case, want to remove some of it because it's not going down quite as far as I would prefer to. Add some hot glue and press that in, just like that. We're going to remove a little bit of that one. Okay, we're going to take our Spanish moss, right to the top, and then hot glue into the hole. and press your florals right in, okay? Just like that. Carol says she loves her glue gun. Hello, Danica. All right, so we got our little carrots. So then I want to put these together in a little bundle, which I did not do with my first set, but I think I'm going to do that with these. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab some fabric here. I've got this fabric. I'm hoping it's going to be long enough. We shall see. Let me cut it down a little bit more because it's not quite as thin as I would like. And I'm just going to use this and wrap this up. And I don't think I'm going to tie a bow. I'm just going to kind of wrap it up, and then I'm going to add a tag to this. And I'm going to use one of the tags from this month's Craft Paper Designs. I think I'm going to use the smaller one. So I'm just going to cut this out. This one says, "But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Just get these corners cut out. This cute little detail. All right, and then we're gonna make this look a little bit more distressed and worn. So the first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna cut my hole out. So this is the little tag. We're gonna crumble this up first. And then I'm gonna crumble it up again. And then uncrumble it. Okay. And I'm liking that. I do want to add a little distressing to it. We are going to use today, I think I'm going to do frayed burlap today. I want something a little more subtle than some of the other ones that I use. So we're just going around the edges. Okay. All right. Then I'm going to take this same fabric. I'm going to tear a little strip. Just like this. I'm going to put it through my hole. And then I think I'm going to use this. I don't know, I'm going to play with it. Because I don't know for sure how I'm going to do this. I think I'm just going to tie it on like that. And then I think I'll trim the ends here, make them a little uneven. And I think I'll take some hot glue and just use a little bit of hot glue to hold this down and so that it doesn't come undone. Like that. And we have this cute little bundle of carrots. How adorable is that? This is going to be, it will be so cute. For instance, let's just play around here a little bit. It would be so cute just sitting on a shelf, sitting on, a hutch shelf or something like that, on a table. A stack of books would be adorable. There's a lot of fun ways to display this. If you have a bowl or a crock or something like that, not bundling them and just putting them inside a bowl or a crock or a pitcher or something like that would be super duper cute too. So there's just a lot of fun ways that you can use these, and a lot of different ways you can craft them. You could do orange, you could do white, you could do purple, whatever you wanted to. I just did that because there are purple carrots. And they'd be so cute. So there you go. $15 for the bundle. It comes with your floral, your wood, and your Spanish moss. It also has the hole already put into it for your florals. So you saw how easy that was. And you can just be creative with the carrots themselves and what all you want to do to them to create your finish. So polka dots and stripes, absolutely. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you all on Monday. Have a wonderful